Welcome to the District Girls Empowerment Symposium 2025. My name is Maria, and it is my pleasure to officially open this evening's program and to introduce our next speaker. Assistant Governor Betty Ann Whiteman Skinner became a member of the Rotary Club of St. Augustine West in 2016. Over the years, she has held several leadership roles, including Secretary, President, Chair of Club and Community Services, and Chair of Membership. For the past 3 years, she has served as Assistant Governor for the East Cluster clubs in Trinidad and Tobago. Additionally, A.G. Batian is a charter member and incoming board member of the Country Action Group on Mental Health Initiatives in Trinidad and Tobago. A.G. Batian.
District Governor Debbie Rupchon is from Trinidad and Tobago. She is the holder of a Bachelor of Laws degree with honors from the University of London and the Legal Practice course with distinction from Staffordshire University in the UK. She was admitted to practice as an attorney at law in Trinidad and Tobago in 2009 and has been engaged full-time since then. Debbie has been a Rotarian since November 2011 and from 2021 has been a member of the Rotary Club of San Fernando South, Trinidad and Tobago, and has served on the club's board as Peace Chair. Before that, Debbie served in the capacities of Club Secretary, Club President, Assistant District Governor for 3 terms, Chair of the District 7030 Peace Committee, and in other key roles at the district level. Debbie is passionate about peace building and has championed the erection of peace poles across District 7030. Debbie is a member of the Polio Plus Society and a member of the Paul Harris Society. She is a PHF Plus 8. Debbie's annual contribution of US $1,000 goes to Rotary's area of focus, peace building and conflict prevention. Debbie loves traveling and enjoys meeting people from different countries from all walks of life. Fellow Rotarians, invited guests, help me welcome our distinguished District Governor, Debbie Rupchon, to the virtual platform.
Thank you so much, Assistant Governor Betty Ann, for the introduction. Let me say that it really is a pleasure joining the Girls Empowerment team on this session this evening. I must apologize because I can't stay for the entire session. I'm on my way very shortly to the airport in Suriname. However, when we started the Rotary year, our chair, Nisha, she promised me that she was going to do the first ever symposium during this Rotary year. And we are 3 days short of the end of the Rotary year. But Nisha, you and your team, you have pulled it off, you have delivered. And I know that what we would have this evening would be an impactful and meaningful session for all the participants who are joining the call. So I look forward to your feedback at the end of the session. I'm sure you would share with me how it went. And to our participants, thank you for coming here to learn more, to be part of this. And please, as a young woman, continue to rise, continue to shine, continue to embrace leadership and to lead the charge forward. Thank you, and back over to the organizing team.
Good evening, fellow Rotarians. Allow me to stand on existing protocols. Are you hearing me loud and clear?
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
So we are honored to welcome an exemplary leader whose commitment to service and education has made a profound impact across our community and beyond. She brings exceptional depth to her role as chair of the District 7030 Girls Empowerment Initiative, drawing from her extensive leadership experience with the Rotary Club of Felicity, Charleville, where she has served with distinction as president, vice president, chair of basic education and literacy, Chair of Vocational Service, and RI Program Chair. She also contributes her expertise as a valued member of the District Interact Committee. As lecturer in education at the University of the West Indies, St. Augustine, she embodies the powerful intersection of academic excellence and community service. Her work demonstrates how educational theory can be transformed into meaningful community impact, reflecting her unwavering dedication to education, equity, and empowerment. Values that perfectly align with today's symposium objectives. Her unique combination of educational expertise, extensive Rotary leadership, and passionate advocacy for girls' empowerment makes her the ideal champion for this important initiative. Her vision and dedication continue to open doors of opportunity for young women throughout the district and beyond. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to DGE Nisha Hari.
Thank you so much, PP Avia. Thanks for the wonderful comments. So I would begin, in terms of a quote by Edith Wharton. There are two ways of spreading light: to be the candle or the mirror that reflects it. Good evening, everyone. DG Debbie Rupchan, past district governors, district governor-elect Soraya Warner Gustav, our esteemed feature speaker, Mr. Richie Bansraj, distinguished district leaders, fellow Rotarians, our wonderful Rotaractors, Interactors, and honored guests. It is with immense pride and deep humility that I welcome you to a historic moment, the first ever Girls Empowerment Symposium of District 7030 with the theme, Championing the Future, Uniting Girls to Lead, Rise, and Transform. This theme was chosen as the guiding theme for this landmark symposium because it encapsulates the essence of what girls' empowerment truly means in Rotary District 7030. It speaks to a collective call, one where girls are not just supported, but united in purpose. It celebrates leadership not as a destination, but as a shared journey of rising above challenges and transforming the world around them. The theme honors our district's unwavering commitment to creating spaces where girls are seen, heard, and equipped to shape the future with courage. Today, we shine a bright light on the impactful, compassionate, and visionary projects championed by Rotary clubs, Interact clubs, and Rotaract clubs from 2022 to 2025, all devoted to empowering girls and young women across our region. So this event is more than a celebration. It is a declaration that when we uplift girls, we uplift families, communities, and nations, boys and men. We stand on the strong foundation laid by PAG Maria, our past District Girls Empowerment Chair, whose exemplary leadership built a bridge of continuity, ensuring that impactful projects didn't just begin, but endured. Thanks to her stewardship, we have entered a new session of momentum, carrying the baton forward into 2024-2025 with renewed purpose. Amongst our meaningful initiatives was the creation of a time capsule, a living archive to preserve the legacies of 7 remarkable Rotary women. Through it, we have immortalized their stories, reminding future generations of the power of vision and service. We have also led projects rooted in literacy and learning with a focus on girls, recognized International Women's Day, the Day of the Girl Child, and amplified community-led efforts that have sparked new waves of action throughout the district. The symposium is our scorecard, not one of numbers, but of impact and inspiration. And I must acknowledge the incredible team beside me. Like a cricket team stepping onto the pitch, each player brought unique skills: the strategic bowler, the dependable fielder, the fearless batter, and the captain who steers the vision. I think they all know who they are. Our girls' empowerment team played as one, a more equitable future for every girl we serve. So today, let us not only reflect on what we have done, but envision what is next. Because when girls rise, everyone rises. Thank you for being a part of this movement and for showing that District 7030 is a powerhouse of purpose and progress. And let me say, let the symposium begin. And now, as we reflect on our progress, it is my privilege to pass the spotlight to a visionary leader whose commitment and compassion helped shape the foundation we stand on today. PAG Maria Mohammed Maharaj has been a member of the Rotary Club of St. Augustine since 2012. She served as club president in 2018 and 2019, and as assistant governor for the East Cluster from 2020 to 2023. She currently serves as District Public Image Chair for Rotary District 7030, having previously held the role of District Girls Empowerment Chair. PAG Maria also serves as president of the Rotary Fellowship of Wildlife, Trinidad and Tobago chapter, and as a director of the Country Action Group on Mental Health Initiatives, the Trinidad and Tobago chapter. Please join me in welcoming PAG Maria, past District Girls Empowerment Chair, as she shares her reflections on the impactful initiatives and bold strides taken during her tenure. Over to you, PAG.
Thanks very much, Girls Empowerment Chair Nisha. What conviction, you would hear it in her voice. And that's what you know about Dr. Nisha Harry, such passion with things like literacy and girls empowerment. So the Rotary Empowering Girls Initiative was launched during the 2021 to 2022 Rotary year as a presidential initiative. For the 2022 to 2023 year, district advocates were appointed, and I had the pleasure of serving from this time to 2024. It has been an honor to witness how the committee has grown under our current District Girls Empowerment Chair, Dr. Nisha Harry. Earlier this month, the Rotary Action Group for Girls Empowerment was officially launched for worldwide membership. And this new RAG is committed to fostering international leadership, friendship, and service in the power of girls' empowerment. You will hear more about this exciting development in the new Rotary year. Thank you to the district and clubs for your continued support of this important cause. And it is now my pleasure to introduce again A.G. Batian. Thank you.
Thank you, Past Assistant Governor Maria. It is indeed my pleasure now to introduce our guest speaker. But before doing so, I would like to read his bio. And our guest speaker is Mr. Richie Bansraj. Richie Bansraj is a passionate and purpose-driven advocate with a master's degree in sociology, committed to transforming the lives of youth and marginalized community across Trinidad and Tobago. With over a decade of experience in the public sector, Richie has dedicated his career and personal mission to advancing gender equity, youth development, and social justice. Richie has served in several key government ministries, including the Ministry of Social Development and Family Services, the Ministry of Youth Development and National Service, and the Office of the Prime Minister, Gender and Child Affairs Division. He is a recognized leader in the fields of gender and youth development and has worked extensively with schools, community centers, faith-based organizations, non-profit organizations, and community-based organizations. Beyond his governmental work, Richie holds executive roles in multiple NGOs throughout Trinidad and Tobago, offering strategic guidance on youth empowerment, gender-responsive programming, and social inclusion. His expertise spans program development, stakeholder engagement, advocacy, and policy influence. Grounded in his academic training in sociology, Richie brings a critical lens to the structural and cultural barriers that contribute to inequality. His work is guided by empathy, integrity, and a deep belief in the power of community. For him, this is more than a profession. It is a lifelong commitment and one of the core pillars that shapes his life. Additionally, Richie actively engages boys and men in the fight to end violence against girls and women, empowering them to be allies, advocates, and change makers. He stands firm in this belief, recognizing that true progress requires collective action and a shift in societal mindsets. Fellow Rotarians, it is a pleasure to invite Mr. Richie Bansraj to the virtual podium.
All right, so thank you so much for that reading of the bio. Everybody could see me and everybody could hear me, right?
Yes.
Yes, we can.
Great. So
Yes.
would you mind if I share my presentation? Is that possible?
Sure.
Yes, it is.
So let me try to share this here. Everybody seeing the shared screen?
Yes, we are.
Yes, sir.
Right. Tell me if you're still seeing it when I do it like this now.
Yes, we are.
Right, bigger, right?
Yes.
Okay, great. All right, so let me minimize this a bit so it wouldn't distract. Right. So thank you very, very much for having me this evening. And I listening to the bio, I know it was long. I know it was long, guys, but it is just basically I like to contribute to gender and development because men, women, boys, and girls need to work together in order to end things like gender-based violence within the Caribbean. And as you can see here, my particular specialty is men and boys, but I also work with women and girls because you need to work with women and girls and men and boys in order to end it together, right? So I'm the Caribbean ambassador for the International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Men and Boys. Long words, I know. High Commissioner for International Men's Day. And I'm also the Global Ambassador for World Day of the Boy Child. So let's proceed with the presentation now. All right. So why does this entire discussion really matter? GBV or gender-based violence and domestic violence are not just women's issues, they are human issues, right? Men are statistically higher to actually engage in gender-based violence and abuse women and girls, right? But also men and boys are face different types of gender-based violence as well, which we'll touch on later on. In the Caribbean, the impact is widespread, but men and boys are part of the solution, right? And now I'm doing this entire presentation, but I want you all who are listening here, you all have men and boys in your lives. So talk to them about all of the things that I'm going to talk about here in this presentation as well. Spread the information, spread it to all the other women and girls as well. Make sure this information doesn't stay here. Make sure it doesn't stay here. Make sure it spreads. So let us talk about how we can lead change as partners, brothers, fathers, sons, and as citizens in society as well, generally as humanitarian persons. So men and women are a team. Like my little picture, I have a little picture where they're giving a high five. Men and women are a team. True gender equality equals partnership. So we must not operate in silos. Remember, I was talking earlier, we must not keep this information to ourselves. We must share it with other people. So we must not operate men alone, saying that, oh, well, we face a lot of issues from women, or women alone, saying that, oh, we face a lot of issues from men. You need to work together in order to flesh it out and find solutions. So men must work with, not against women to address violence and vice versa. Ending violence benefits everyone in society. It's the hardest thing to do, huh? It is the hardest thing to do, but ending violence benefits everyone, creates safer homes, healthier families, and also stronger communities. This is the main thing here. There are types of gender-based violence, or GBV, as I mentioned throughout the presentation. So gender-based violence, or GBV, is any form of violence against someone based on their gender. Any form of violence against someone based on their gender. Domestic violence now is violence within the intimate partner relationships and within the family system. So it can include, these are the umbrella types of gender-based violence that I want you all to take away. And remember this in particular, in this entire presentation, this is what I want you to remember. Physical abuse, that is hitting, cuffing, slapping, verbal or emotional abuse. I'm sure some of you listening might have heard about the phrase the word gaslighting. That is manipulation, right? Then there's sexual violence, even things like catcalling, sexual harassment, and rude. Men just do that, right? Financial or economic control, controlling money, using money as a form of power to control someone's behavior. Digital harassment. Digital harassment now is one of the new and upcoming ones because everybody have a phone. Back in my days, you had them old-time Nokias that didn't have you only had SMS, didn't have no online connectivity. So you instantly could reach out to people, and there's bullying. There's a whole set of things that are negatively associated, also positively associated, but negatively associated with the online space. So how both men and women experience gender-based violence. So these are some of the statistics here. And it's way too high, right? It is way too high for the women. 1 in 3 globally have experienced physical or sexual violence. 1 in 3 women have experienced it. That statistic is way too high. High rates of intimate partner violence in the Caribbean as well. Because we have a culture where that's how, and it is also accepted too by some of the women in society. Yeah? So the patriarchy exists. And now the patriarchy is where the men are the top, considered at the top, and then the women below, right? But the patriarchy is detrimental to men too, because there's only certain men that are on top. And then also some women assign to the patriarchy and say, well, a man need to take me out and pay for all of this, that, and the other, right? That is one aspect of it. But then when it comes to other aspects, where the man have to have certain control and things like that in the relationship, they may not want that. But all of them things links back straight to the types of violence that I would have talked about earlier, right? So gender-based violence is all of these things are interlinked and intertwined into one key word. And that one key word is power. Power is that word that everybody strives for as people. So it leads to these forms of violence. Let's talk about world wars. All of these forms of violence are broken down in the world wars as well. Huh? Physical violence, you're bombing up the nations, all of these things. So let's go back to this. So in the Caribbean, we have a high rate of intimate partner violence. And now the men experience emotional, verbal, and physical abuse, but they underreport and physical abuse. So now you as a woman in this conversation, I want you all to encourage the men and boys to talk. If your son crying, they'll say, hey, you're a man. What are you crying for? Stop crying. You're a man, a young man. That in particular kind of affects the boy. Because the boy then now perceives that I'm a man. I'm not supposed to show any emotion. I'm supposed to be stoic. Stoic meaning showing no emotion. It have a trend going around with these young people now. They call it nonchalant. Being nonchalant, showing no emotions to anything that happens to them. Literally, that's a trend, right? So emotional, verbal, and physical abuse all happen to men. I have talked to men as well that have been talking to other men, big men, that they get abused by their significant other, but they don't want to say anything. So you as a woman need to encourage them to talk. The fear of stigma and loss of the masculinity. They fear stigma and fear to be labeled a certain way, right? So therefore, the boys and men are forced into gangs, soldiers to become soldiers, or violence. We have seen it in the wars that happening recently. The boys are forced into war as well because they are the first, they are the ones to pick up the guns, the ones that they want, the government wants to pick up the guns. Expendable? I don't know. So these are the things that we need to converse with boys as well and women to try to end, right? Let's continue next one. So this is statistical snapshot now, right? 46% of Caribbean women experience violence, and that is way too high, by the way. That's almost half of Caribbean women. And this is 2023, yeah? What year are we in now? 2025, right? But what I've noticed being in the gender space is more women and men have been reporting because they're becoming more aware of it. Like, what is violence? What is gender-based violence? So they become more aware of it and they are more reporting it now. So you'll see the statistics rise, but that's the real statistics now coming forward, if you understand what I'm saying. So as I said earlier, 1 in 3 women in the globe, as well as in Latin America and the Caribbean, have experienced physical or sexual intimate partner violence. Now in Trinidad and Tobago, 2016 to 2023, this is suicides, right? Male suicides was 653, which were way higher than the women and girls, right? So globally, men commit 75. We're still in June. June is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. And a lot of men don't even know that, right? More women know about it than us men. So that's why you women here need to raise the awareness and show the importance to the men of Men's Mental Health Month and also mental health in general. Because of things like this, globally, the men commit more suicides. In Trinidad and Tobago, look at the last statistic, 2011 to 2021, 82, that's a 10-year period, by the way. 82% of the suicides were men and boys. 82% of the suicides were men and boys. Now, how does this link back? They fall into depression, they drink, they have negative coping mechanisms. And one of their coping mechanisms may be to consume alcohol. And then when they go home, when they consume the alcohol, they're beating the wife, they're beating the children, abuse, sexual abuse, all the forms of abuse. So you see how everything interlinks? If it affects men, it also affects women. And if it affects women, it also affects men, right? So men and boys now can help by speaking out. So this is how when fellas seeing other fellas doing things and other men seeing other men doing things, speak out. Call out the sexist jokes, the violence, and the disrespect. I just have a thing where I say pull up on your brethren. Always pull up on your brethren. If you know your brethren doing nonsense, saying nonsense, pull up on them, right? The same thing goes for you women and girls. If you see your female friend or also your male friend doing nonsense, you pull up on them because we are adults. We know what's right and wrong. Even the young adults know what is right and wrong, right? And especially after this presentation, you know what is violence. So being good role models, show what healthy masculinity looks like. So today I had a session with some police officers in Caranage, and I made sure to let them know that they are role models in the society. Because you know why? Society kind of knocks them down, makes them feel like if they're not appreciated. But in reality, I tell them that you may not see it, but people do look up to you as police officers in society. The same thing with you as teachers, leaders in this space here as well. You are more than just teachers. For example, you are more than just teachers. Teachers don't just do an academic checklist. Say, all right, today I teach sociology, today I teach maths. It's not just that. It's youth development, holistic youth development, right? Actually raising our young people, right? Learning and unlearning. Educate yourself on gender. Empathy, meaning putting yourself in other person's shoes to understand what they're going through and to understand their trauma. Because everybody has always said, everybody going through it. Now you have to understand what they mean by when they say everybody going through it, right? So now let's go on to supporting survivors. Offer a listening ear and respect their voice. So listening, so some people is listen, right? And it's come out the other ear. Right? That's not a good thing. Some people is listen but give solutions immediately, right? That's not a good thing either. Sometimes people want to talk to you, so you listen and you understand. You understand what they had to say, right? So break the silence culture that we have, especially for the men and boys. Women talk, women have their safe spaces. Safe spaces is like the friends and family that you trust to talk about things, but men and boys don't have none of that. And I always encourage them to have that as well. So you here in this chat, you encourage them, create a safe space with your trusted male friends, right? You'll have sons, you have husbands. Let them create safe spaces for the trusted with the trusted friends. This man up culture thing needs to come to an end. Man up, be a big man, needs to come to an end. Many boys and men suffer in silence, leading to frustration and sometimes violence, which is why they lash out. What I was saying earlier, they lash out and they may beat their wives, they may cheat, they may do all of these different things. So we must create safe spaces, as I said earlier, where men could talk about their emotions, talk about their relationships and their mental health. Now, this is not something that is easy to do, you know. It is not going to happen overnight. This will happen over the course of some years. So that's why I need you all here in this chat to try to engage the men from now, the young boys, the older men too. So educate and raise awareness. These are the three levels that I address it here at. The schools, the community, and the media. The schools where teachers are not just about academics. As I said earlier, it's not just about academics that you all as teachers are doing. It's life skills that you're teaching our young men and women. Community, places of worship to highlight what is right from wrong. And there's also other communities, like community groups, like sports groups, gaming groups. The media is very powerful, very, very, very powerful. We know that now. Everybody have a phone, right? Share survivor stories as well as the statistics, like the statistics that I would have talked about here too. And you share the resources available for the vulnerable men and the women. You share the resources available to them. So we start young. So we mentor the youth, teach boys that real strength equals self-control, consent, empathy, respect matter. Healthy relationships require communication. Without, we wouldn't have none of this. This laptop to talk on, computer here, cars to drive on, if we didn't have proper communication. All right. Support school and community programs that foster emotional literacy. And let's go on to the call to action. I'm almost finished. Call to action. What can you do today? You speak up against abuse. If you see it, if you see something, say something. Learn more about gender-based violence, but you learn a lot today. This is just a brief touch on it. To have way more in-depth you could go, because you have to understand gender itself, right? Mentor a young man, and yes, a woman can be a mentor too. You listen without judgment. Remember, I was talking about that earlier. Listen to understand. Be a change maker in your circle. So that ends my presentation for today. So thank you all very, very much. I kept it short and concise. And this is my information here. If you ever want to reach out to me for anything in terms of gender and development, youth development as well, and also with my ambassador portfolios as well. So thank you all very, very, very much. Oh,
Thank you.
one more thing. Let me take a picture. I want to take a snapshot picture. I'm not sure if anybody could put on their cameras and I can. Yes. I like to keep pictures of a lot of things. I have to remember it, right? So let's go. 3, 2, 1. Nice. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, Mr. Richie Bansraj. I would say what an impactful and educational session. But this is not my time, but I would like to invite my colleague, Rotarian Sharda, who will now table the question and answers. But before I do so, I'll read just a short bio on Rotarian Sharda. Rotarian Sharda became a Rotarian in 2023 and is presently the secretary of the Rotary Club of Felicity Charleville for the period 2024 to 2025. She has supported the overall work of the Rotary Club of Felicity Charleville, especially the programs related to basic education and literacy. I now invite Rotarian Chada to take the podium where she can table all the questions and provide the answers. Rotarian Chada.
Thank you very much, A.G. Betian, for that warm welcome. And Mr. Richie Bansraj, thank you very much. That was a very, very excellent presentation, very impactful. You provided lots of insights, and I know gender and gender-based violence and what boys can do to uplift women and what women can do to create secure communities, secure families, and so on is a very broad topic. And we hope that sometime later on we could have you join us again so that you can shed more light into this issue. At this point, I'd like to open the forum to have some questions and answer to a question and answer segment. I know we have a lot of young people here. I see lots of interactors here as well. And I'm going to ask if those of you, if you have questions, and Mr. Bansraj, if you're willing to shed a little more light into some of the questions that we may be having here this evening. So let me look at the chat, and I saw one young lady, right, hers was more of a comment in terms of a man should not feel as though he loses his masculinity if he shows emotions, and women should not feel scared to speak up when they do face abuse. Both men and women are needed for a function in society. And this is from a young lady of Saraswati Girls, the Interact Club there. So let's get some questions going. If you for those of you, and Mr. Bansraj will invite you to help in terms of clarification, edification, and providing more information. Okay, so I will start with one. You spoke a lot about the role of men and young boys in really empowering young girls, women, and change makers of society. What do you think that we could do? One of the things one of the questions are creating safe spaces. And how can you encourage educators, especially in the school system, to, promote and to encourage the development of safe spaces, given the kind of violence that you are seeing in the media and so on happening presently?
Yeah, so that question is an interesting question, and I always ask myself the question too, because there isn't one rigid answer, because different communities have different answers really, because the needs of the young women and the young men are different in each society. So what I usually do is conduct needs assessments within the communities to find out what it is the youth really want to do. And when it is that I find out what the youth want to do, then I engage them in projects and programs for that. Now, when it comes to safe spaces, a safe space is something small, and it don't have to be anything big. It could just be you and two other friends. It could just be you and two other friends. And that in itself is a safe space. But make sure though, and as I always have this warning, make sure it's people that you trust. People that you trust, because we are humans and people is talk and say this, that, and the other, and you might feel like you're betrayed, but always have a safe space, because we are social beings. We can't just live when I talk about silos, you don't want to just live in a silo or operate in a silo. You want to always have other feedback, because I always talk about this thing called overthinking. I just overthink too, right? So overthinking in reality is negative thinking. And let me show you how having friends or having a safe space actually benefits, right? So you're overthinking, you're thinking about the same thing over and over and over, and then you realize you're only thinking about the bad things that could possibly happen. And you talked about it with your friends, your close, safe space friends, and then you realize, wait now, it seemed like if I was just exaggerating everything, because them laughing, my friends laughing about the situation, and then when they ground you, when it is that you talk about what it is that you talk about, you realize how ridiculous it can be. So creating a safe space is all about finding out what the needs are of the youth. And also it is complicated, but you need to put the work in. You need to put the work in. Even the youth and the teachers need to put the work in to find out how to create a safe space for that particular culture of persons.
Thank you. We have some questions that are coming forward. We have Pipinisha Harry. Dr. Harry has asked, how could boys in school help empower girls in the school forum?
Right. So that's an interesting question because whenever I talk to boys, suitors be like sometimes, nah, leave them girls, them to sort of their own problems. But I was like, are they living together in society and you have to live with them later on in life? How do we encourage? So how do we encourage you to keep doing that? Because they're going to be living with them. That's all I tell them. You're going to be living with them in the future. You cannot avoid living with women and girls in the future. So you have to see that how the benefit of it is the benefit for society in general. You don't want to just operate in, and as I say again, operate in a silo. So to encourage them by telling them they have to live with women and girls in society in general.
Great. We have another question. How could both parties work together for girls' empowerment?
I'll give you an example. Something called period poverty exists in Trinidad and Tobago, right? Period poverty is where some women, some girls and women don't have access to sanitary napkins in secondary schools, for example. Some secondary schools do not have that, and they just don't have the funding for it. So what we have been doing, I have been doing is encouraging men in my circle as well as the young boys that I work as. Remember, I'm the ambassador for this these days that deal with men and boys. So I encourage them to see that women have needs as well, and they are vulnerable in certain aspects, especially when it comes to poverty and period poverty. So one thing I will try to encourage them is to understand when women go through their when they're going through their cycles, and also try to navigate that and support these women and girls while they're going through the cycles too. Because to be quite honest, fellas, they're still childish. Remember, they statistics show that they mature less than slower than the girls, right? So they're laughing and giggling if a girl and say, nah, she on she period, blah blah blah, and them giggling. But we need them to have a better understanding of what women go through because they're easy, you know. I can't go through that as a man. I'm not.
The questions are coming and we'll try to keep it. I have one from Crystal Cheong. Is there any message or approach you find specifically reaches men and boys which we can use to modify in other countries outside of Trinidad?
Well, that's a big question to approach with the men and boys. I would just say the same thing. I always use the statistic that men and boys don't talk, and then it links to the suicides and the depression. So I use statistics as the foundation to then highlight the issue that we are facing. So the issue is suicides and depression, and then the solution is creating safe spaces for all men and boys. So everywhere, it's not just Trinidad and Tobago that needs safe spaces for men and boys, and it's the whole world. When you look at it, it's the same thing. Masculinity is not just a Trinidadian thing. It's like throughout the entire world, men and boys just don't talk about the issues. So what I'll encourage is just talk.
Great. Our last question. I know we're strapped for time, but you're doing fantastic. We could keep you for another hour or so, but time
Yeah.
doesn't permit.
Mm.
We have a question here. How would you recommend at a club level, and this is coming from Rotary, 18 to 35 years old on average, could we open this course or encourage them to participate and learn in this regard? And I'll slide into another question about the conversation. You know, how do we really promote that conversation and that dialogue and open that discourse and encourage men to participate?
So we need a phased approach. So in doing this phased approach, we need to do sessions with the members of the Rotary because a youth is still considered up to age 10 to 35 is a youth,
Yeah.
right? So we need to do it in a phased approach where we do sessions for the women, and also the women need to talk to the guys that they interact with in their lives and bring them into these sessions, right? When we bring them into these sessions, we do workshops. And when we do these workshops, I do it. I generally like to talk and raise awareness of gender-based violence. Gender in itself is a whole concept. When you think about gender, people just think about LGBTQI and thing alone, right? But gender is men, women, boys, girls, and men have different needs, women have different needs, girls and boys have different needs, and they are the people that make up society, right? It have gender equality and have gender equity. Gender equity is fill in the gap of the needs that men and boys have and women and girls have. Let me give you an example quick, right? So when I'm doing all my presentations and stuff for people to understand that men and women and the gender dynamic are different, right? So for example, the general gender norm is that men are the breadwinners of the household, right? And then the other gender norm is that some women may have to be a single mom that need to take care of their children, right? They have no husband or whatever the case may be, right? So what could social development, Ministry of Social Development do now to create safety nets for these women and also for these men? So for the men now, given that the issue is they're not having jobs, right? But they are seen as the persons who's supposed to be the breadwinners in the household, right? Now they face a lot of stress and pressures from society. So what does the ministry need to do? Create training programs for them, right? So create the training programs for them. So that's how it fills that gap. And that's a different need compared to what the women have. The women will have the need of public assistance because they have children to take care of and they are single moms. So they have the children to take care of and they need the public assistance. So that's where the social welfare comes, training for the men and public assistance for the women and girls. Well, for the women.
Thank you very, very much, Mr. Bansraj. And I think we all agree you did a fantastic job, and we're really looking forward to further conversations with you. We could probably
Sure.
give him some nice reactions and little love buttons and so on here on the
Yeah.
screen. And I'm going to hand over now to our next speaker who will close this first section and segment of our program. So it is a pleasure for me to hand over to Rotarian Deanne Chinpaya, she of the Rotary Club of Felicity Charleville. Rotarian Chinpaya, she joined the Rotary Club of Felicity Charleville in 2022, Club Secretary of 2023-2024. She was a club treasurer in this last year that has gone by and is almost over 2024-2025. President-elect 2025 to 2026. Committee chair for DEI and public image member and fundraising of the Country Action Group on Mental Health Initiatives in Trinidad and Tobago. It is a pleasure for me to hand over to my colleague, Ms. Deanne Chinpaya.
Okay, thank you very much, Sharda, and pleasant good evening to everyone who's here. I would like to thank everyone for your attendance, and this shows your commitment towards girls' empowerment and all its initiatives, in addition to the inclusion of boys as well. And it's a Friday evening payday, so we appreciate your commitment and your attendance. And Mr. Bansraj, based on your bio, you could put on your camera. I want to see a reaction. Right. So based on your bio, I pulled out a couple qualities. You are committed, passionate. You are passionate on gender equity and youth development and empowerment. You have a deep belief in the power of community. Is that right? Right. So I just saying you have real good qualities of a Rotarian. So you know now.
Yes.
Right.
Great.
So your presentation was quite informative and interesting, and your statistics on gender-based violence was actually quite shocking, and it brought a harsh reality to us. And sometimes we need that to initiate and push for change. And thinking about men and their feelings and boys, we tend to overlook that sometimes. And we, even us as girls and women, we have to work on ourselves as well. So it's never too late. And I really appreciated your presentation and the little reality check. And we are doing a lot of work, but our work have a lot of more work to do, right? And I think we're just at the beginning and the tip of the iceberg. So I would just like to say, we have a lot of pulling up to do with our brethren and sisters. And in the words of DG Debbie, we need to continue to charge forward. In the words of PP Nisha, we are united in purpose on this shared journey. And when girls rise, everyone rise. And we need to do this together as a team. And, I appreciated, really, really appreciated what you did, because my background is construction with men, and you tend to get a little carried away and forget the emotions and things. So it was a good reality check in terms of the emotions and how much work we need to do. And at this point, I would like to acknowledge and appreciate the Girls Empowerment team from 2022 to 2025 and all your wonderful contribution towards the empowerment of girls and women, and including boys and men. So at this point in time, we will be going on to our second segment, and I would like to introduce PAG Maria at this point in time. Thank you.
Thank you, Rotarian Deanne. It is my honor to introduce the upcoming segment, which will showcase a series of impactful girls' empowerment projects for the 2024 to 2025 Rotary year under Girls Empowerment Chair, Nisha Harry. The projects will be presented in the following order. 1. International Literacy Day, focus on girls and literacy. 2. International Day of the Girl Child. 3. International Women's Day. And 4. The phenomenal Time Capsule Initiative. These initiatives reflect our ongoing commitment to advancing gender equity and empowering girls through meaningful and sustainable action. Starting is Rotarian Crystal Cheong, who will feature International Literacy Day focus on girls and literacy. Rotarian Crystal was inducted into Guyana's Rotary Club of Demerara in 2020 and has served as Foundation Chair, Club Admin, and Secretary, as well as the Girls Empowerment Champion for the past 2 years. She's a Paul Harris Fellow and Charter Member of the District 7030 Polio Plus Society, and will again serve as Club Secretary in the upcoming year. Welcome, Secretary-elect Crystal. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you, PAG Maria. Last year, in preparation for International Literacy Day observed on September 8th, the Girls Empowerment Committee focused on girls and literacy and shared a flyer with suggestions for 6 activities which our Rotary, Rotaract, and Interact clubs could engage in. Suggested activities included interactive read-aloud at primary schools, videotaping of 4 read-aloud books, poster competitions under the title Empowering Girls Through Literacy, literacy workshops, teaching English to migrant children, and hosting a book fair or exchange. Please enjoy this video showcasing how some of our clubs in the district took action on International Literacy Day 2024.
Literacy is the key to unlock the door to a world of knowledge forevermore. Education for all, a fundamental right. Let's break the chains of ignorance and blight. Literacy's light, shining bright, guiding us through the darkest night. Empowered minds, ignite the spark. Let's build a future shining dark. From the classroom to the boardroom's hall, literacy's impact stands tall. Economic growth, social justice, peace, literacy's power never cease. Literacy's light, shining bright, guiding us through the darkest night. Empowered minds, ignite the spark. Let's build a future shining dark. Let's build a future shining dark. Let's invest in education for a brighter day, where knowledge and wisdom always stay. Together we can make a change, a world of literacy re-erased. future shining dawn. Let's build a future shining dawn. Literacy's light shining bright, guiding us through the darkest night. Empower minds, ignite the spark. Let's build a future shining dawn. Literacy's light shining bright, guiding us through the darkest night. Empowered minds, ignite the spark. Let's build a future shining dawn. Shining dawn. Literacy's the key to unlock the door to a world of knowledge forevermore. Education for all, a fundamental right. Let's break the chains of ignorance and blight. Literacy's light shining bright, guiding us through the darkest night. Empowered minds, ignite the spark. Let's build a future shining dawn. From the classroom to the boardroom's hall, literacy's impact stands tall. Economic growth, social justice, peace, literacy's power never cease. Literacy's light shining bright, guiding us through the darkest night. Empowered minds, ignite the spark. Let's build a future shining dawn. Let's build a future shining dawn. Let's invest in education for a brighter day, where knowledge and wisdom always stay. Together we can make a change, a world of literacy Literacy's light shining bright, guiding us through the darkest night. Empowered minds, ignite the spark. Let's build a future shining dawn.
Thank you so much for all of the clubs featured. Thank you so much for your submissions. And I know that there were more clubs that probably were not featured, but thank you all for all of your International Literacy Day initiatives. I now call on Rotarian Deanne, who will share with you on our district's response to International Day of the Girl Child.
Okay, thank you very much, Crystal. So the International Day of the Girl Child was celebrated on October 11, 2024. On this day, we used the opportunity to embark on some wonderful, exciting, and innovative projects. These projects were Girls in Agriculture, Girls in Technology, engagement of men and boys in promoting gender equality and empowering girls in STEM, which is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. The various clubs rose to the challenge with great enthusiasm, and we will now present 2 videos on these projects by Rotarian Wahida.
Hope you always know your worth, though I know that life can hurt. Hope you know that you can turn to each other. Hope you learn to trust your voice, make mistakes and make some noise. Hope you never lose your joy or your hunger. Girls, you were born to run, to reach the stars and chase the sun. Girls, you were wild and free. The wind is at your back, the world is at your feet. Sometimes life can feel unfair, broken hearts you can't repair. Sometimes you might be scared that no one gets you. It's not easy being brave when tears are falling down your face, but that's how you'll find your strength, so I'll let you. Girls, you were born to run, to reach the stars and chase the sun. Girls, you are wild and free. The wind is at your back, the world is at your feet. Someday friends might turn their backs, falling leaves might hide your path. You'll try hard, might come in last, yeah, but just around the corner. You'll move mountains, you'll make waves. You'll be fearless, you'll be brave. There'll be nothing you can't face. Hope you always know your worth, though I know that life can hurt. Hope you know that you can turn to each other. Hope the road ahead is clear, and I hope you know when I'm not here that you'll always have the love of your mother.
Thank you very much. And we would like to showcase another video on the boys' perspective on the International Day of the Girl Child.
In STEM because they have better creative senses than men.
Girls are important to STEM because they are very insightful and they can bring new ideas to the table.
I believe women are important in STEM because with women in STEM, they are constantly breaking the gender norms that men are predominantly in the STEM field.
I believe women are important in STEM due to the diversity they bring to the field, the creativity they bring to the field, the aesthetic that they bring to the field, as well as breaking the gender norms of only men being in STEM.
I think that women are important to STEM because they bring more creative pieces and they beautify those items.
Why are girls important in STEM? Historically, women have been confined and secluded as it concerns in experimentation and being involved in the scientific atmosphere of the world. However, taking women out of this atmosphere or group is unfair to them and unfair to science as a whole, because we do not know the capabilities and we do not know the discoveries that these women can make for the entirety of the world. We must ensure that we encourage from this stage our girls to be a part of STEM fields and to be a part of the processes that can in turn and in the future benefit not only them but the rest of society.
Happy International Girls' Child Day. Thank you very much. And these two videos brings to mind a quote by Helen Keller, where she says, "Alone we can do so little, and together we can do so much." And it all starts with me, you, and us all. I would like to introduce IPP Diana to present on International Women's Day.
Good evening once more. As a part of our ongoing commitment to nurturing confident, capable, and courageous young women, one of our Girls Empowerment initiatives proudly aligns with International Women's Day 2025. With the global theme Invest in Women, Accelerate Progress, we join hands with sister clubs to spotlight local action that contributes to a more inclusive and equitable future. This initiative raises awareness of the systemic barriers they continue to face. By celebrating International Women's Day, we affirm our role in cultivating leadership, resilience, and empowerment among the next generation. Some highlights of this impactful journey will be captured in our special video presentation featuring the heart, creativity, and collaborative spirit of our clubs across the district.
You can be amazing, you can turn a phrase into a weapon or a drug. You can be the outcast or be the backlash of somebody's lack of love. Or you can start speaking up. Nothing's gonna hurt you the way the words do when they settle neath your skin. Kept on the inside and no sunlight, sometimes a shadow wins. But I wonder what would happen if you say what you wanna say and let the words fall out. Honestly, I wanna see you be brave with what you wanna say and let the words fall out. Honestly, I wanna see you be brave. Just wanna see you. I just wanna see you. Just wanna see you. I wanna see you be brave. Just wanna see you. I just wanna see you. Just wanna see you. I wanna see you be brave. Everybody's been there, everybody's been stared down by the enemy, falling for the fear and dancing, disappearing, bow down to the mighty. But don't run, stop holding your tongue. Maybe there's a way out of the cage where you live. Maybe one of these days you can let the light in. Show me how big your brave is. Say what you wanna say and let the words fall out. Honestly, I wanna see you be brave with what you wanna say and let the words fall out. Honestly, I wanna see you be brave. And since your history of silence won't do you any good, did you think it would? Let your words be anything but empty. Why don't you tell them the truth? Say what you wanna say and let the words fall out. Honestly, I wanna see you be brave with what you wanna say and let the words fall out.
In the capacity of the launch of our time capsule, I now introduce our beautiful and very able chair, PP Nisha.
Thank you so much, IPP Diana. So let's talk a little bit about our time capsule. The time capsule for Rotary Women is far more than an artifact. It is a living tribute, a symbolic act of reverence, and a promise to the future. What it does, why a time capsule? It captures stories, wisdom, and achievements that might otherwise fade with time. Through videos, narrative, photos, and symbols, it preserves the voices and contributions of women, in this case Rotary, who have shaped communities, mentored generations, and led with courage. Each item sealed within becomes a beacon, a testament to purpose-driven lives and the evolution of empowerment. You have to remember, because history is often written in headlines and milestones, but legacies are built in service, compassion, and quiet revolutions. This capsule reclaims those untold or under-celebrated stories and safeguards them, not in a museum, but in memory, to be rediscovered and reignited. As one interactor beautifully said, and I quote, "The time capsule gives us a cherished lens into the valuable work our Rotary women leaders have done," close quotation. It transforms the abstract into the personal and shows younger generations you can, because they did, our interactors, our youths. Why Rotary women? Because within Rotary's core is the ideal of service above self. And the generations, women have exemplified, for generations, women have exemplified that through both bold leadership and quiet fortitude, the time capsules honors their spirit and ensures the next wave of change makers, not just inspired by their legacy, but anchored in it. And to honor female Rotarians who have exemplified Rotary's ideals through their service and leadership. This is awesome because these women have not only inspired members of the Rotary family, but have also made significant contributions to their communities. Their stories and achievements, of course, through the creation of a time capsule. And some of our honorees include Pipi Barbara Ayen, PDG Astra de Costa, PDG Lara Quintrell Thomas, PDG Dominic Nair, PDG Sonia Allen, DG Debbie, and of course we have DGE Soraya Warner Gustav. You know, and some additional features of the time capsule initiative, one of its kind, first of its kind in terms of girls' empowerment, is to ensure these honorees that their legacies are celebrated and preserved. So we also added video production narrative story. You will see that shortly. It's a visually engaging narrative in video format that includes images highlighting their contributions. And of course, we did an e-biodata poster. You could get it on the district site, the Girls Empowerment, that digitally designed posters summarizing their impactful journeys and commitment. This initiative is the Girls Empowerment team, and I'm so proud of the novel 2024-2025 project. The time capsule reinforces the commitment of Rotary District 7030 to the empowerment of women and the promotion of Rotary ideals, and we'll now see that.
If you give a little more than you take, and if you try to fix more than you break, if you're the kind who takes the time to help a stranger in the rain, there's a place for people like you. If you stand up for those down on their knees and lend a voice to those who cannot speak, if you shine a little light, give sight to the ones who've lost their way, there's a place for people like you. I've heard up there the streets are made of gold. gold. And when you get there, there's a hand to hold. I believe when your days down here are through, there's a place up there for people like you. If you walk around with your heart on your sleeve, and if you're trying to be the change you wanna see, if you lay down your life for love so someone could be saved, there's a place for people like you. I've heard up there the streets are made of gold. And when you get there, there's a hand to hold. I believe when your days down here are through, there's a place up there for people like you. Streets are made of gold. And when you get there, there's a hand to hold. I believe when your days down here are through, yeah, there's a place up there for people like you. I know you're out there, so keep doing what you do, 'cause there's a place up there for people like you. Out of many, one people we are.
Thank you very much, PP Nisha. And um, these were wonderful videos, really impactful and inspiring, quoting from the chat. So I would like to congratulate everyone who took the time, their patience, and dedication to ensure the execution and success of these impactful projects done by the Interact, Rotaract, and Rotary clubs. Well done, and I think you all deserve a round of applause and some hearts and likes and right? Your passion, your drive, and determination is not going unnoticed. And I would like to end with a quote that says, "Behind every orchestra is a conductor, and behind every success is quiet dedication." And I think that has been showed continuously throughout all these videos and projects that are being done. And, you know, it's really hard work, commitment, and dedication, and congratulations. I think we're on the right track. Good job.
Rotary and Diane. So I'll just call on PAG Maria at this point to present some highlights from the 2022-2024 Girls Empowerment Profound Projects. At this point, over to you, PAG Maria.
Thank you, Girls Empowerment Chair Nisha. But before I go on, I have to say it's truly inspiring for us as a district to have this time capsule documenting the contribution of all these female Rotarians whose exemplary leadership continues to guide and inspire us all. Please allow me to share my screen to show some highlights of the 2022 to 2024 Rotary year on the Girls Empowerment.
Thank you so much, PAG Maria, for that wonderful video. And we'll now have another video that showcases 2024-2025 projects.
My apologies. I don't know what happened there, but I will just continue it if that's okay.
Sure.
Sorry, my internet was going off and on. So let me go on. I would like to take this opportunity to express heartfelt congratulations to all Rotary, Rotaract, and Interact clubs featured for their inspiring contribution to girls' empowerment during the 2022 to 2024 Rotary year. Your creativity, commitment, and community spirit continue to drive meaningful change across the district. Now, there were two projects highlighted that started in actually 2022 and they're still ongoing, which is the Empowering Girls Now Wellness Weekend, led by the Rotary Club of Garden City, Georgetown, where this project partners with the Girl Guides Association to promote self-confidence, visioning, financial literacy, and personal development amongst girls 13 to 17. Its initiative has grown significantly, so it was launched in 2022 with 30 Girl Scouts, and now the second year the program ended up with 104 participants from Girls' Orphanage in the area. In 2024, the club selected 30 girls from a vulnerable school, and this effort led to the formation of a new Interact club by the Rotary Club of Garden City. The year also marked the launch of Boys Empowerment Wellness Weekend, expanding the program's empowerment to both genders and reinforcing the club's commitment to youth development. Another project is Fight Breast Cancer in St. Vincent, and it was spearheaded by the Rotary Club of St. Vincent. And the first time they mentioned this project was in 2022. It's a grant-funded initiative valued at US $180,000, and it focuses on increasing access to breast cancer screening and health education for women and also girls in rural communities in St. Vincent. Through the use of mobile screening units and a robust awareness campaign, this two-year project seeks to build a culture of early detection and improve health outcomes for girls and women across the country. So these projects, ones that would have been shown here, exemplify, and these two, exemplify the enduring spirit of service and our shared commitment to building a better future for our girls in our community. Thank you once again for your continued support, and I would like to introduce Rotarian Diana.
Before we go on to Rotarian Diana, we're just going to share the video for the year 2024-2025. So we'll just give a few seconds for that.
Look who we are the dreamers, they make it happen, guess we believe it. Look who we are the dreamers, we make it happen, cause we can see it. Let's do the one that keep the passion, respect, oh yeah. Let's do the one that can imagine, respect, oh yeah. Guess we believe it. Look who we are. We are the dreamers. We make it happen. 'Cause we can see it. Here's to the ones that keep the passion. Respect. Oh yeah. Here's to the ones that can imagine. Respect. Oh yeah. Look who we are. We are the dreamers. They make it happen. Guess we believe it. Look who we are. We are the dreamers. We make it happen. 'Cause we can see it. Here's to the ones that keep the passion. Respect. Oh yeah. Here's to the ones that can imagine. Respect. Oh yeah. Gather round now, look at me. Respect and love the only way. If you wanna come, come with me. The door is open every day. This 1+2 rendezvous, all invited. This what we do, how we do. Look who we are. We are the dreamers. We make it happen. Guess we believe it. Look who we are. We are the dreamers. We make it happen. 'Cause we can see it. Here's to the ones that keep the passion. Respect. Oh yeah. Here's to the ones that can imagine. Respect. Oh yeah. We are the dreamers. We make it happen. Guess we believe it. Look who we are. We are the dreamers. We make it happen. 'Cause we can see it. Here's to the ones that keep the passion. Respect. Oh yeah. Here's to the ones that can imagine. Respect. Oh yeah.
Thank you so much, Wahida, for sharing. And we now call on Notarian Diane to just sum up this segment.
Okay, so thank you very much, Rotary and Nisha. And community service teaches young people that they are not just part of the world, they are powerful enough to change it. And I think they are doing a very good job with the help, support, and committed dedication of the Rotary clubs. So many congratulations to our hardworking Interact and Rotaract clubs. I would like to introduce Rotarian Crystal now, who would be introducing a special segment on girls' empowerment.
Thank you, Rotarian Deanne. It is now my absolute pleasure to call on PP Nisha to take us through our next very special segment, in which we will hear from women and girls in our district as they share their thoughts and feelings about some of the projects which transformed and empowered their communities, with a special focus on education. PP Nisha.
Thank you so very much. And, we have reached a really dynamic section and session right now because, it is taking us now from classrooms to catalysts. So education is more than a right? It is the spark that ignites potential and the bridge that carries girls towards agency, confidence, and leadership. In this inaugural Girls Empowerment Symposium, we pay special tribute to visionary educators, mentors, and school leaders who have not only opened doors, but stood at the threshold to guide and champion our girls towards empowerment and transformation. Across our district and beyond, teachers and educational leaders have nurtured minds, hearts instilling resilience, critical thinking, and boldness in the next generation of women. They have transformed classrooms into launch pads, not launch pads, where dreams were not only spoken, but strategically mapped, where girls discover their voices, their value, and potential. This segment honors those who believe not just in books and syllabi, but in the power of a girl transformed by learning. Girls who now stand as powerful change makers in their home, schools, communities, and countries. When an educator empowers a girl, they don't just change her life, they change the trajectory of generations to come. As our theme posits, uniting girls to lead, rise, and transform. I now welcome Rotarian Dr. Shauda Maharaj Ramjatan, who has been an educator for the past 20 years. She's presently the principal of Parvati Girls Hindu College. Rotarian Shauda joined Rotary in 2023 and is presently the secretary of the Rotary Club of Felicity Charleville. I now would like Rotarian Dr. Shauda to, for you all to hear her voice. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Harry, and it's indeed a pleasure to give a reflection. There's so much I could say. 28 years is a big time capsule in my mind, but I'm just going to summarize as succinctly as I can. I am the great-granddaughter of immigrants who came to this country without any kind of education. But my grandmothers and great-grandmothers always had one drive, and that is to always ensure that you do better. And I come from an education system and an education board where women were taught in a domesticated sort of role. And in that role, we were taught basically schools were limited. It was mainly women. Your role was supposed to be in the home and so on. And basically, I'll take up a verse from P.P. Nisha, Dr. Harry. When girls rise, we all rise. And we educate a girl child, we progress a society and transform the world. And I've always held on to those values because I've seen the power and of belief, the imagination that goes into visionary thinking and wanting your daughters to do as far. I've been involved only with the education of girls for the last 28 years, and I could tell you there's one recipe for it, and that is belief in the girl child. Believe in that child. Believe and cater all your resources. Cater a school in such a way that you not only create safe spaces, but you create opportunities for learning for that young lady. No girl child should come to school without basic resources and amenities. So things like textbooks and so on, your socioeconomic status or your financial restriction should not be a reason why you cannot access learning. And that's something that I hold at the core of my practice. So I provide opportunities for learning, opportunities for exploring the different skills, talents, and abilities of our young ladies. And the main ingredient that goes into empowering girl child and that young lady who will one day transform the world is the pastoral care and the love that we provide to those students. Students learn when people believe in them. Young ladies learn when they see examples that they could emulate. And young ladies learn to conquer the world once they know that there's someone there who believes in them. And every day you do that by example, by setting an example, by showing up, and by challenging them to push themselves further than the opportunities that was afforded to meet the principal, to their teachers, and to even to their parents. And we do that by putting all our passion and our resources into the development and the belief that one day this girl child, young lady, young woman will conquer the world. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rotary and Sharda, for your wonderful insight. And of course, there's another video by A.G. Dina. She's not here, but vicariously we'll show that video to unearth her voice in terms of the issue of empowerment and girls. A.G. Dina is an educator, and the principal of St. Joseph Convent, San Fernando, for over 30 years. Under her tenure as a principal, she was responsible for the school joining the Interact Club, which still is alive today. Ejidina served as secretary, president, and youth service chair with the Rotary Club of San Fernando. In 2016, she joined. She also served as RILA chair in 2023 and 2024. So we would now see her video.
My name is Dina Bainey, and I've been asked to talk a little bit about what empowering for girls meant to me. So what I would do, I would talk about Dina, the young girl growing up, Dina, the mother of two beautiful daughters, Dina as teacher, Dina as principal, and Dina as Rotarian. So in my home growing up, my parents recognized how my potential. And while my mom was the homemaker, my dad is the one who really recognized my potential, and he supported me throughout my life, my youthful days, in terms of, what I would like to achieve. He always provided the opportunity for me to excel, and he was always very supportive. I remember when I was in sixth form, and even younger than that, he would stay up at nights with us. He would wake us up to study. And even though he never had a secondary school education, he was very, very advanced in terms of discussion of general paper topics. And he was, a real good dad at that time. Moving on, as I matured and got older, I always said when I have children, I had a vision, a clear vision of what my daughters would be like. And so I got married, and I have two daughters, and I have always supported them. They've been bright young girls, and they had the opportunity to excel. I always, emphasize, my husband and I always emphasize the role of education in empowering girls. We provided our girls with all the knowledge and skills that they needed to excel. And fortunately, they went on to attend the school that I was teaching at. And, as a teacher, you have many classes passing through your hands over 30-something years in the teaching service. And so every group of girls, had their own unique talents and treasures. And my role really was to nurture that. So I taught them really about, even though I taught physics most of from those years, I taught them how to be resilient. I taught whatever I had to teach went beyond the classroom. It was like empowering them with life skills, to let them know that the world is out there and they had all the opportunities at their disposal, and to make the most of it. I also inform them about they need to make informed decisions, pursue their dreams, and contribute to their communities. And they certainly have done that. Dina, as principal, gave me the opportunity to be an advocate, because now I've moved on from just teaching groups of girls to a whole school approach, and really getting the opportunity as a leader to ensure that the girls at the institution had the best possible opportunity to excel and to grow in the world that they are going to go out into. I also let them know that they challenge the gender stereotype, that they should not bother with that the world is out there, and that they can seek any profession and excel at it. So I have girls who went on to do engineering, like petroleum engineering, which was, most times for boys, men. They've gone on to various skills that were mostly, for men. So they've really done very well out there. Again, as a whole school approach, they have the strong support of the staff, and many of them of their family and friends. So, so the important thing is that in empowering girls, to me, is to provide them with all the opportunities that is out there, to let them know that they're going to fail sometimes, but that's how growth takes place. So when I became a Rotarian, it gave me the opportunity again to work with young people, and I continued in that same vein of interacting with the Interact clubs, and even our Rotaract club, when I more or less brought it back. Working with these young people, gave me a sense of fulfillment, and to see them really excelling in different ways, especially interactors, where they get to meet students from the district and even outside of the district. So basically, that's what it is for me, the giving back, watching them excel, the resilience, making their mark in the world. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much. What a wonderful sharing, in terms of this empowerment journey and the trajectory that we all are on. I would now like to introduce Miss Sherry S. Bridgelal, first and foremost, a dedicated and committed Interact advisor for the Saraswati Girls Hindu College Interact Club. And she's a teacher there. Sherry has a passion for the environment and climate change, helping animals, and empowering girls in all these realms. Over to you, Miss Bridgelal.
Good night, everyone. My name is Sherry Bridgelal, and as Dr. Harry indicated, I am a teacher at Saraswati Girls Hindu College. I would like to introduce some very special young ladies who are leading the way in voluntary work with specific attention to the environment and care for animals. The following young ladies all believe in empowerment of girls, and they seek to accomplish this through their Interact Club. The speakers will be Ashana Bihari, Anu Ragunanan, who will both speak on the cleanup projects at the swamp in Felicity, Savara Birbal and Tanvi Tiwari, who will focus on their role in helping abandoned animals. We will now have Ashana, the Vice President of the club, speak.
Good night, everyone. I am Ashana Vihari, the Vice President of the Interact Club at Saraswati Girls Hindu College. Being a part of an all-girls school has created a strong foundation for empowerment. It's a space where young women are encouraged to express themselves, lead confidently, and support each other. This environment has shaped me, as well as many others, into strong, capable individuals ready to make a difference. Joining the Interact Club was a turning point in my journey. It provided a platform where I could grow as a leader and serve with purpose. Through projects like the Felicity Mangrove Cleanup and events such as RILA, I developed communication, teamwork, and problem-solving skills that are essential for leadership. These experiences helped me recognize that leadership isn't just about being in charge. It's about being of service and inspiring others to act. Surrounded by other passionate girls, I witnessed how Interact fosters unity, builds confidence, and creates lifelong friendships. This is a community where girls uplift one another, share bold ideas, and take the initiative to lead a change. The Girls Empowerment Committee and the Interact Club has led initiatives focused on public speaking, promoting girls' education, and encouraging mental and physical well-being. These programs have allowed girls to explore their potential, raise their voices, and grow into further leaders. Together, through our school, our club, and our committee, we are not just learning, we are leading. We are shaping a generation of empowered girls ready to leave a mark and make a difference. Thank you.
I think you're muted, Miss Bridgela.
Thank you. Thank you, Ashana. Anu will now focus on the cleanup and how it helps to make them feel empowered through their actions.
Pleasant good evening to all. I am Anu Raghunanan, a member of the Interact Club of Saraswati Girls Hindu College. On February 22nd, 2025, the Interact Club of Saraswati Girls, together with Ms. Viana Sherbeni of the Ecosystem Approach Limited, executed a microplastic cleanup at the Felicity Mangrove. Our team was split into groups where we collected microplastics, together with a team of supportive parents who collected bulky waste. This activity not only raised awareness towards environment, but also brought young girls together. Throughout this day, we were able to witness the great scenery of nature and also form new friendships. On my first ever mangrove cleanup, I was hesitant. However, as soon as I arrived, I instantly felt a sense of calm. The waters and the rustling leaves encouraged the club and I to pursue this cleanup with passion, and that is exactly what we did. Some of us even accidentally stepped in the mud and got dirty, however, we made it into a joke, which turned into a fun memory. And this annual mangrove cleanup is now an event that we look forward to every year. As young girls who aspire to be future leaders, this project brought about awareness of female empowerment in the community and environments. Because we are empowered to lead our future and by doing these activities, we are also empowering communities on a better journey of transformation. Thank you.
Muted. Sherry?
Yes, Miss. Hello. Thank you. So well done, Anu. Thank you. Our next two speakers, Savara and Tanvi, speak about their role as girls trying to help the nation's abandoned animals and how such community work helps to empower them and by extension, their community. I take you now to Savara.
Good evening, everyone. Today I want to talk about something close to our hearts, our animal project. This wasn't just another school activity. It was a chance to make a real difference in the lives of animals who need our help. Taking on this project was important because animals, just like us girls, deserve love, care, and basic needs like food. As young girls, we know that we will be future women leaders in our community and by extension, our wider society, country, and world. Hence, we need to be exemplars to our peers by showing care and empathy towards abandoned animals. As female members of the Saraswati Girls Hindu College Interact Club, we hope to inspire and encourage our fellow students to also recognize and contribute to this worthy cause. We chose to do animal food drive because we saw the need in our community. There are so many cats and dogs in shelters or on the streets that go hungry every day. Many of them don't have someone to care for them, and we wanted to be that helping hand. We didn't want to just stand by, we wanted to take action. That's why we organized a food drive to help support them. We collected and donated different types of food for cats and dogs. Each item we gave was chosen with care, knowing it would go to a furry friend who truly needs it. This project wasn't just about giving food, it was about showing kindness and responsibility. Helping animals teaches us compassion. It reminds us that even small acts like donating a tin of food can make a big difference in the world. We're students from the Interact Club of Saraswati Girls Hindu College for our environment. Thank you.
Powerful words. Thank you, Savara. I now present Tanvi and her experiences in these empowerment exercises.
Thank you, Ms. Pajal. A pleasant good evening to all. Continuing from where my fellow colleague Savara left off, I would like to reflect on the recently concluded pet food drive, which ran over several weeks between February and March 2025. During this time, both Interact Club members and our wider school community, including family and non-members, came together to donate a wide range of items for abandoned and stray animals. These included pet rice, dog chow, cat chow, tinned foods like tuna and sardines, and other wet foods. All items were gathered and stored on our school compound and later picked up by members of the Rotary Club of Felicity, Charleville for distribution to local animal shelters and foundations. This initiative was a collaborative effort including Early Act, Rotaract, and several other organizations. Personally, participating in this drive made me feel incredibly fulfilled and hopeful. Seeing how small acts of kindness can multiply when we work together filled me with a sense of purpose and belonging. From this experience, I learned that compassion isn't limited to people, it extends to every living creature. I also firsthand witnessed the power of community mobilization and what can be achieved when service and empathy meet. As a young woman, this event reinforced my belief that girl empowerment means stepping into leadership, sparking change, and doing so with empathy and vision. The Rotary and Interact movements have given us that platform, and it's one we should continue to embrace. Looking ahead, we hope to launch further projects focused on environmental sustainability and supporting vulnerable communities. I encourage all of us to continue answering the call to serve. Our collective actions can build a kinder, more empowered world for both humans and animals alike. Let all of them thank the District Girls Empowerment Community for the empowerment opportunities. Thank you.
Thank you, Tanvi. And thank you all for the opportunity tonight. I would also like to thank the District Girls Empowerment Committee for the empowerment opportunities that they have provided. Good night.
Thank you so much, Sherry. And now we have reached the final part, which is the vote of thanks. So here we go. And I don't want to be forgiven. So I just want to do it right. Okay? In terms of everybody that I have to thank. So as we draw the curtains on this landmark occasion, and you saw all the videos, let us pause, heartful and spirit stirred, to express our deepest gratitude to the many luminous souls who turned this gathering into a living testament of purpose. To our distinguished guest speaker, Mr. Richie Bansraj, your words are not merely heard, they resonated. Your poignant insights on gender-based violence and your unwavering call for men and boys to be allies in this ongoing narrative of transformation were brave, necessary, and deeply impactful. It stirred reflection and opened hearts. Thank you for leading your voice to change. And I have 15 messages that they want you. I know he left, but I will relay this. They want you as a guest speaker in many different clubs. To past District Chair Maria, your sterling leadership and unwavering commitment to girls' empowerment built a foundation upon which this moment was made possible. Thank you for the journey you began and the torch you passed with grace. Very admirable and appreciated. To Assistant Governor Betty Ann, your radiant example of service on your birthday reminded us that true celebration is found in giving. Thank you for your heart and your valuable contributions on this special day. We are truly, truly grateful to have an AG as you, Betty Ann. To Rotarian Wahida, your quiet guardian of connectivity, thank you for orchestrating the digital symphony behind the scenes with such grace, humility, and precision. Your work ensured every message found its way to every heart. Thank you for your graceful command of technology, ensuring today's proceedings flowed seamlessly and every voice found its way into the shared space. To Rotarian Yvonne, who couldn't be here today, your creative brilliance brought our vision to life through each flyer, capturing the heart of our message with grace and strength. You have been a steadfast rock throughout this journey. To our brilliant girls empowerment team, you were the architects of the first ever District 7030 Girls Empowerment Symposium. But more than that, you are the midwives of a movement. Your vision has set the stage for a future when no girl is left unseen or unheard. To our 7 phenomenal time capsule honorees, thank you for gifting us your stories, your struggles, your triumphs. Your legacy in narrative and video will continue to light the paths of generations to come. One interactor again said it best. Wow, a time capsule really presented a most cherished lens to the valuable work our Rotary women leaders have done. Time capsule encapsulated this. This is the true lesson, that we girls are empowered through your stories, unquote. This indeed is a timeless take of empowerment. To the Rotary family, Interact, Rotaract, Rotary clubs, thank you for creating projects that are more than initiatives. They are declarations of belief in a better, more just world for girls. To Ms. Sherry Bridgelal, your steadfast dedication as an Interact advisor has been a quiet force behind the upliftment of so many girls. Today, your presence and guidance were more than a contribution. You were a testament to what steadfast mentorship looks like. And to the remarkable girls, Ashana, Anu, Savara, and Tanvi, thank you for stepping forward and sharing your personal journeys. Your voices rang with strength, your stories glowed with courage, and your presence reminded us all that empowerment is not a theory. It is lived, breathed, and boldly spoken. To Rotarian Shauda and AG Dina, thank you for your powerful narrative on your role in education and the empowerment of girls. It was extraordinary and commendable. The best for last, right? Well, almost. To our Girls Empowerment Symposium team, PAG Maria, AG Betty, AG Dina, Rotarian Wahida, Rotarian Yvonne, IPP Diana, Rotarian Diane, PP Avia, Rotarian Christelle, Rotarian Dr. Shauda, and Rotarian Annie. Your work was not just organizational, it was soul work. Your courage to dream and your determination to deliver made today not only successful, but sacred. The best for last, to our beloved audience, you listened, leaned in, and reflected. Thank you. Your engagement is a ripple that becomes a wave. Together, may we continue to write stories that matter, build futures that shine, and pass forward the flame of empowerment. Thank you. And we have come to the end of our Girls Empowerment Symposium. So thank you all very, very much.